This week in VCT, there's been a lot of roster changes happening in China. The first ever two-way player has been announced, and Pacific and China, they have officially started. But before we get into all of that, let's now talk about, I guess, some continuous news that I talked about pretty sure on episode 2, I believe, that relates to JH. It was announced this week that JH is free from any suspension, and it was just an official warning. It's basically because it was just a quote, a lighthearted joke. Okay, I mean, to be fair, like I mentioned before in episode 2, which if you haven't seen it, I basically talked about the entire situation, and I will leave a link to it as well in the card top right there, right there. You can have a look right there at the top right hand corner. But it was a very weird thing that just came out of nowhere, and it was kind of also when like Oceania they were also having like their own little crisis as well. So it worried me, but I'm glad it's all good now. Nothing bad in it, like like nothing bad has happened. For JH, obviously he's a former disguised player, so he's now a free agent. So hopefully he does find a new home. But it is a good sign though that JH will still be around and he will still be, just basically just I don't know, just maybe just looking for a new team in Malaysia, Singapore. Maybe I don't think he'll be looking for a team in Tier 1. Maybe he can maybe look for a team maybe in China. I don't really know, but we'll see where JH goes in his next part of his career now with this whole drama thing behind him. Now let's move on now to some roster changes that has been happening for ourselves in the Americas. We had Leviathan. They have promoted Itapata as the head coach, and Juvenile has joined him as the assistant coach. I quite like Itapata, so I'm glad that he's now gotten the full opportunity to be the head coach. Obviously, he was a head coach for, also the assistant coach, I'm pretty sure, for Apex. So obviously, we know how competitive Apex was in Ascension last year. So we'll see if Itapata can change anything for Leviathan. Juvenile joining Itapata as the assistant coach is pretty interesting. Juvenile, he was a former coach for TSM, I believe, a crew. And most recently, he was a former coach for Elevate, which was I'm pretty sure it's a Portuguese team, I believe, but it was competing in Malaysia, Singapore, and he was there for like 10 days until this opportunity came up, and then he left Elevate to join Leviathan. I mean, not too bad of a choice, man. I'd be interested to see how Juvenile goes now. In Tier 1, obviously he was part of a crew with like so Common pretty sure was there, and some other players like maybe Pancakes, Neon, I believe. So he has been around for a while. But I guess the biggest test is going to be how he performs as a coach in Tier 1 with a team which everyone expects them to be very competitive. As of right now, throughout the season, they've been flops, but we'll see how they go now in stage two, or I should say in split two, I should say. An old familiar face now returns to his former team as Pancada returns to Loud. This was rumored for a while, and I think I talked about it in one of my episodes, I believe, so it was kind of expected. But it still doesn't really answer my question, who the hell is going to be the duelist for this team? Obviously, we know that we know who's going to be the IGL is. We know the Sentinel, the Flex, possibly the Controller, or the Initiate as well. But who's going to be the duelist for this team? I mean, I don't think any of these players have had duelist experience. Like, yes, we've seen Sardak on Raze a bit, but that's the only like maybe less. I don't really know, I'll be honest. Like, I don't know who the duelist is. I'll be interested to see what the roles are when America starts, but it's such an unknown. But for Pancada to return to that, I'm happy that he's back in Tier 1, because I'll be honest, he kind of got fucked over by Sentinels. I was like with Zelsos coming in, with John Cutie coming in, it was kind of the writing on the wall for Pancada to be gone off that team. So it's great that he's now back, and it was maybe the worst kept secret in VCT history, is what in my opinion. Buckle up now, as now we head over to China, and first up with Bilibili Gaming. Yes, it was confirmed that Flexen has officially signed with the team, while Biank is the only one that left. Yes, it was rumors slowly that that they were going to explode their entire roster, but it was just one player leaving. So Flexen coming into Billy Gaming. Like I mentioned before, this is now his third team this year. Yes, he was with Trace Esports, and he went to Tyloo, and then now he's with Billy Gaming. He has been with one team in every single stage or split. Like, obviously, he was with Trace in Kickoff, then he was with Tyler in Split 1, and now he's gonna be with Billy Game in Split 2. What is this, like, why? Why? I mean, it's a good change for Billy Game, in my opinion. I think Bianchi was on the way out because he's had some questionable decisions. While Flexen coming in, he is definitely an upgrade compared to Bianc, but it just still worries me that Flexen has joined 3 teams in all 3 splits, and he hasn't been with the team for an entire split yet. Well, I should say for 2 splits, I should say. So it worries me if there's something wrong happening behind the scenes for Flexen, but I mean, it'll be a good opportunity for Flexen to do well in Billy Gaming. If not, I will be a bit worried for his career, but obviously we will talk about Bianc later in this video. Dragon Ranger Gaming, yes, the team that was eliminated in Mao Shanghai pretty early on. They have now announced a new coach, JKH. I don't know anything about this guy, to be honest. I tried to find some, I went to his Wikipedia. There was no results there, and I even searched up as well VLR when I was announced, nothing. So I don't know anything about this guy at all. If someone from the Chinese scene or like relatively knows something about JKH, that'd be great. Please tell me because I have nothing on him. He's kind of like Guy from Fun Plus Phoenix, where there was like nothing about him, and then when he joined, FPX looked like the best team in China. So is this maybe like a Guy version, maybe for Dragon Range Gaming? Now that they have 3 coaches now of LT, UCN, and now JKH, I'll be interested to see how that goes for them. But I mean, it could be good. It could be really, really good for them. Edward Gaming, yes, a tier that you probably weren't expecting to be on this news, as they have announced a new signing of Wood A1, and Muggle has now moved to the assistant coach role. Now, just like JKH, I knew nothing about Wood A1, but apparently he is a former Crossfire player. That's really about it. This is his first time, I believe, competing in Valorant, and he's joining basically the best team in China, so I don't know how that's gonna work. Is he just gonna be like a muggle where he just won't play, or is he gonna be in the starting roster? I don't know. Because I know nothing about Wood A1, like JKH from Dragon Range Gaming. I know nothing about him, but sure, we'll see how that goes for Edward Gaming. If Wood A1 is actually going to be playing, or if he's going to be like Muggle, where he just won't play and will just basically help out in the coaching role. We'll see, but I just don't know anything about this guy to really give up any information, or maybe I should say relevant information about him. I don't know what is with these like Chinese teams picking up unknown talent, but apparently it's been working a bit. But No Resports has also joined the club as well, as they have released Pang Huang and they signed Ezier. I believe that's how you say his name. I'm not really too sure, but Ezier, just like Wood A1 and JKH, I know nothing about him. Nothing on his Wikipedia, nothing on VLR. I know nothing. So unknown, like I said before. Could he maybe be on a silent roster? I mean, maybe according to like Wikipedia, possibly, because OB1 is listed as a sub player, but I just don't know anything about him to really. Just like I said about Wood 81 JKH, I know nothing about him to really, I don't know, give off any information about him. So I got nothing on this player for Nova, but I mean, we'll see if it actually does work out for Nova, but I just know nothing about this player to really give off any information or good relevant information about him, I'll be honest. Titan Esports Club, they have parted ways with Shameless and QE, and York Monster has switched to player. He was formerly the head coach of the team, now he's a player. That is a strange thing. But it is worth mentioning that York Monster used to play for Edward Gaming 2021, like basically before the powerhouse of Edward Gaming now. So he has been in Valorant for a while. He has obviously played, but he hasn't played in like a couple years. So we'll see how he goes now. But obviously we'll talk about TEC later because they did play the only game China had this week. And York Monster was not seen whatsoever, so I guess he's going to be the sub player for this team. But with Shameless and QE off the roster, it's not too bad, I'll be honest, because both of them have. I mean, there's nothing really. There's nothing bad about them. It's just that they didn't play at all. So I can also understand that, and now they are now able to look for better opportunities. Potentially they do, but I mean, just where could they really go? They could go to maybe one of the tier two teams in China, but I don't really know if that's possible because on top of my head, it's like what like Rare Atom, Chosen Click Gaming, and that's really all of G Chao, I believe. That's really all I keep Best Gaming. That's like all the Chinese teams I can maybe remember, and all of them are, and most of them are like free agent teams to say, which they don't have an organization backing them. So I mean, it's a possibility. Maybe Shameless and QU can maybe join them, but I don't know if that might maybe the best option to be honest. But as for Yorkmon, switching now from coach to player, it's a strange thing. I'll be honest. It's really weird to me, but hey, more power to him, I guess. Trace Esports, they have released YOU from the lineup, and they have assigned Biank. Interesting choice, I'll be honest. I was not expecting YOU to be on the chopping block because I thought YOU was very good. I mean, he performed pretty well in Split 1. He performed well in Kickoff as well. So for him to be off the team is really strange to me. Having Bianca's in, yes, I have opinions about Bianca, but I guess maybe veteranship. I mean, Billy. I mean, he was part of the grand final. He has gone to champs. So, I mean, there's a possibility maybe that, I mean, maybe with Biang's knowledge and veteranship, that maybe he can maybe steer Trace to be in Champions, maybe. But I just don't know about this roster change until I see it. It's one of those roster changes where, yeah, like it might be good, but I just want to see it for myself to actually have an actual opinion. So that's kind of where I'm sitting, I'll be honest, for Trace Esports. That I thought YU, he's a great player. I'm very surprised that they cut him. And with Yank in the lineup, I just want to see how they play, I'll be honest. Like if it is like the stupid shit that he's been doing with in Billy Gaming, then I think it will be a bit of a downgrade, but maybe it's about maybe communication, maybe in comments, maybe Bianca's a lot more vocal than YOU. Then maybe I guess play style and stuff, so maybe he can maybe play, so maybe he can help Heybei on IGLing, but I don't really know. I just want to see just how they play, I'll be honest. Tyloo, they have been a bit busy here. They have officially signed Cole Fisher, former player from Woods Esports. Ice King has officially left, and Sunshine is the new head coach. Not too bad. Ice King, he was the former IGL, I believe, for this team. So my question is, who is the IGL for the team now? I don't know. Nothing, I'll be honest on that. So I mean, I just don't really like these changes that Tyler has been doing to split. I mean, they got rid of Shy, like I mentioned before. Flexing is now gone. I mean, they had a Coldfish, which is great. I'll be honest, I think he's a very consistent player. But now with Ice King gone, who's the IGL for the team? Who's going to call all the shots? Because Ice King pretty sure was the IGL last time. So, I don't know, is it going to be Ack? Probably not. Is it going to be Coldfish? Maybe. I don't know. Is it going to be Aaron? Is it going to be HFMI? I have nothing on this team whatsoever. Sunshine as new head coach is alright, cool. Obviously yes, obviously yes, he got help. Obviously, I'm guessing from Shy to be the new coach for the team, but it's just I don't know. Like this team is such an unknown as well, so we'll see how they go. Now with basically no IGL for this team, but I mean, they could definitely. I mean, I guess maybe when the match starts, we'll know who the IGL is going to be, but we'll see. We'll see. And the final Chinese team is Wolves Esports, as they have released Coach Nate, and they have signed as well Chiang and Chappie as the new coaches. I'll be honest, releasing Nate is maybe their best option. I didn't really like him as a coach. I think maybe as well. I think Wolves as well. They also making the right decisions as well. They now have Sui Fat Baby as a new IGL instead of Plex. Thank fuck, because I don't like Plex as the IGL. If it was Plex and Team Weibo days, then I guess I would love it even more for him to be for Plex to be the IGL. But because he's kind of past that, I don't really know about that. But as for Chungak and Chappie, I am very surprised. Jungkook, I guess he's mainly well known for being the coach for T1 last year when I was the leader in Masters Tokyo, and I think also champions as well. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think he's really been in any Korean team since, if not maybe SLT, but I can't remember on the top of my head. As for Chappie, he's stranger. He was the former team leader for All Gamers. What? It doesn't really make sense, but all right. But I mean, now with Jungkook, Chappie, and Jungle DSL as the coaches, I don't know who I don't know who the head coach is going to be. Maybe it's going to be Jungle DSL, but it's so strange of what China is doing over there regarding like coaching roles and switching players up. It's just and no, and that's why I love watching China. Alright, now moving over now from China. Now EMEA, Fnatic, they have signed Hero as a sub, while Leia takes a break due to health reasons. Now, first, I just want to say, yes, my thoughts and prayers go out to Leia. Hopefully he is fully 100% to come back to Fnatic, because he is a great player and a very important asset to that team. Hero as a sub, it's great. It's great to see. I'm pretty sure this is not the first Dutch player, I believe, to make it to EMEA, to VCT EMEA, which is pretty cool. But my question is why Hero? Because let me explain. Hero, it's a player from Supermassive Esports, which is obviously a Turkish team, and he plays a Sentinel role. The reason I'm questioning that is obviously yes, the Sentinel role, and Leo is mainly the initiator for this team, but it kind of baffles me that Fnatic decided to not get one of their own players from mandatory, which they do have an affiliated partnership team with, and have a two-way play on that. I guess it's maybe because that I think that two-way player needs to play like a certain amount of matches to be accepted or something. I think like they can only play like what, like 3 matches, I believe. So that maybe might be the reason why Fnatic decided to go with Hero, but obviously I might be wrong, but like it's still really weird what Fnatic are doing with Hero as a sub, formerly from Supermassive Esports. It's very strange to me. So I mean, it'd be good maybe for Hero to get some tier 1 experience and stuff, but it's like, why don't you just get one of your players from mandatory to do that? You know, like an actual proper initiator player from mandatory to actually help you out with that. But apparently not. Maybe because of visa issues, or maybe this mandatory just didn't want to let one of their players go. I mean, I think they do have a 5-man roster, so maybe that might be the reason. And mandatory, they also are competing to win Split 2, I believe, in the French league. So maybe that's the reason. Maybe they're just putting all their focus maybe onto that, and they don't really want to give Fnatic really a helping hand. But obviously, I might be wrong. I have no idea. So, yeah, it's a weird situation, but I do hope Leo get fully 100%. And as for Hero, I do wish him the best of luck in his first VCT match in Tier 1 for Fnatic and VCT EMEA. And to round out the news, we have Soulcast as he rejoins Team Liquid as a two-way player according to the Valorant contract database. Now, I think this is like the first like confirmed two-way player that we have this year. Yes, I guess it's kind of well known that Kellogg was a two-way player for Gentleman's, I believe, when he was with DVM Esports. But this was like the first fully, truly confirmed two-way player. So with Soulcast back in the lineup, I guess for Team Liquid, and I mean to be fair, he has been with that team for a while for Team Liquid, so it makes sense there. But I think Soulcast he's been really good. He's been harnessing his skills once again. He's been redeveloping himself as well in Apex, which is great to see. So I'm glad that Soulcast, I guess, is kind of back in Tier 1, and it'll be also pretty good as well for Team Liquid, just in case if one of their players is sick or is unable to play for that week, then Soulcast can just jump in and help out. So it's a good sign there for Liquid and Soulcast. But yeah, the first ever two-way player, I guess, announcement, quote unquote, is Soulcast rejoin Team Liquid from Apex. Alright, now let's move it now to the results as of right now this week. First off with China, as Americas have not started yet. First off with Tyson Esports Club, as their first match was against JD Gaming, and they lost. Arbo was MVP, and TEC, they were kind of slapped around. I will say it was a very, very close game. Went to overtime once, and I think pretty sure it was 13-11 on the second map. So it was a very, very close game for TEC, which is a good sign. But I mean, this kind of comes with the question of York Monster really becoming a player instead of the coach. I even can't remember who the actual coaches, I believe, as well. So, yikes. But interesting. I'll be honest. That for TEC, they didn't make any changes to the starting roster. So there was no York Monster. There was no. I think there was maybe another player maybe on the team. I just can't remember who it is. So I think it was mainly like RB, AC, Arbo, Black, and who's the other one? I can't remember on the top of my head, but it's basically the five-man roster, which was there at the end of Split 1, so I mean, it's not really going well for us right now for TEC, and their hopes, well, of making the champs is dwindling pretty fast, but I guess it's now getting started now for the next team on our list. That being JD Gaming, and they do have a massive hill to climb if they do want to make it the champions. They won against TEC, Sue was MVP, and my god, they look so much better. I mean, yes, it was very close, but they look a bit better than previously, I'll be honest, which is pretty difficult to say because, I mean, both the teams are very, very close. I would rather want to see JD Gaming against a team like Trace Esports, maybe Dragon Range Gaming, maybe it's what FPX and Edward Gaming to see how they go against the top teams. As well with like Wyatt Chen in the lineup, Zion as well, like I mentioned before, I'm pretty sure last episode that he was a bit of an unknown as well when he played the KO mainly, and he was all right there. So that's a good sign there for JD Gaming. But yeah, I mean, good showing from JD Gaming, but I just want to see more. It was just the one match, and as well, like kind of just like TEC. I need to see more of it. I don't think it's. I think it's quite stupid that they have one match today. Well, not today. It was yesterday, I should say. So I think it was quite stupid what China did. But I think after this video does get released, there will be, I think, two matches for China, so that'll be a bit better. But I can't actually remember who the teams that could be playing. I think maybe one of them would be like Nova, FPX, maybe Tyloo, maybe another team. I can't actually remember off the top of my head, but I think Billy Gaming might be one of it. But I'm not really too sure. But now this time there's gonna be two matches today, which is gonna be good. But for JD Gaming, not too bad. They now move up now to seventh place now with one win with TEC. But I need to see a bit more from them just so I can actually make a full on, just to make a full basically just a full opinion about JD Gaming because yes, it's just only one match, so yeah, it's not a big enough sample space for me to really say like, okay, this team is good, this team might make good champs. I just need to see a bit more from this team. And skipping past EMEA as well, as they have also not started as well, and as we now jump over to Pacific, as first up with Bleed Esports. Oh god, it's happening again. They did lose against Team Secret, yes, but Retla was also as well MVP. And they were actually pretty good. I mean, they made a massive comeback in a sense. I think it was like they were what, like 10-2 down in the first half, and then they won, which is very, very impressive there from Bleed. But then they kind of struggled in the next maps, map 2 and 3. I think it was Sunset and what was the other one? Maybe Blind, I believe. Or I can't actually remember what the other map was. Maybe Breeze. I can't remember. But I thought they actually were pretty good. I mean, it's better than it was last split. So maybe Ye was the problem, but just like I said about JD Gaming, yes, they were pretty good here, but I needed to see more from them to then make a full opinion on them. Because as what I've seen, yes, they are very, very good and they are capable of being competitive. I mean, they made this game competitive against Team Secret out of all teams, so it was a good showing there from Bleed. But like I said, I need to see a bit more from them to make a full opinion. But as of what I've seen against Team Secret, pretty good from Blade Esports. Z Division, they kind of got slapped around the first map by TRX. A 13-0. Yeah, I can't remember what was the first 13-0 this year, but I mean, it's just It's not a good showing there for the second division. But I mean, it was map 2 was pretty good. Then map 3 was just a forgettable one as well. So yeah, they only had a one really good showing on map 2. Sugar Zero where it was MVP there as well. And shout out as well to Deb to have to rocking a mustache, which is really cursed, I'll be honest. But yeah, it's just oh god. I mean, what do we really say about Zeta now? I mean, they have young players of Hiron and Yoran. They have this weird coaching staff with Kalau and Junior, I believe. It's really strange to me when Kalau was announced to be going to Zeta Division. It's still a little bit weird, but I mean, it's not working out. I'll be honest with Zeta. It's really not, and it's just, do they maybe need to make changes? Possibly, but it's just not working out for Zeta at all. Team Secret now, as they move up now to 6th place now with their win against Bleed Esports. Jeremy was MVP, and this was also the first match as well for Wild Oreo. A great showing from him, I'll be honest. It was really good to see him, how he played, and he kind of slotted into Team Secret very, very well. So I was very, very impressed with Team Secret. So he should definitely pat himself on the back of that performance. It was a very, very good job there from Wild Oreo. Jeremy, I mean, he's just Jeremy. I mean, what else do you really expect from him? He's just, he's amazing. He is the team's, he is Team Secret's secret weapon. I mean, yes, Wild Oreo, I'm pretty sure, said that he is Team Secret's secret weapon, but Jeremy, he was just diffing depth, I'll be honest. He was really, really good there. And as well as with the Clo, actually, I'll leave the name I was against Zeta. I'll talk about DRX later, but I just mentioned. But yeah, great show there from Team Secret. 2GE, he was alright. I mean, like I meant, well, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because he hasn't competed fully in a while. Yes, he had that one-off for RQ when Australia was sick, but I mean, that was just a one-off. He hasn't competed in a full split yet in a while, actually. My God, because he's mainly been a sub for RIQ, so this is basically his first time actually competing full time, like not actually subbed out, nicely subbed out and stuff. So he like 2G, he had some moments with RIQ last year, especially, but we'll see how he goes with Team Secret now. Now with the fully Filipino roster, I mean, he could be really good there. He could gel really good there. So yeah, pretty good showing there from Team Secret as a whole again in this match against Bleed, other than map 1, which is ignore map 1 because I kind of choked there. And finally, we have DRX as they have officially secured the playoff spot after one match against Day Division, and now they have 7 points to their name. You can tell how horrendous this format is if DRX have immediately secured their playoff spot. But I mean, whatever, I guess. Buzz is the MVP. I mean, he was just so good on Icebox. My God, was he a beast. And then he also whipped out the Clove. Yes, the Clove. Flashback did play Clove. He was actually pretty good there, I'll be honest. I could tell that both teams have taken inspiration from Plus Phoenix. I could just easily tell from their comps, like, God, they were just, I don't know what the hell they were smoking, but I want some of it. And the IGL for this team, I've heard stuff that Mako is the IGL. I've also heard that Bane is the IGL. I would say maybe Mako is maybe the most likely one to be the IGL, considering that if Buzz is the IGL, that's just a shitty idea. I mean, he's a duelist for God's sakes. Yes, that has happened before with duelist being the IGL. I mean, how look at Plex and play Weirbo Gaming. I mean, he was a duelist for the team, and yet he was still the IGL. So it can work. It just needs to work well. But with Mako as the IGO, it's a good showing. I mean, I quite like that Mako as the IGO. He has been under Stack's wing for a while. So it's good that Mako is showing that now. Now that Stacks is gone to T1, so it's a good showing there. But I mean, with DRX now securing the playoff spot, I don't know what else to say. I mean, they look really good now, even without stacks, which I was very, very surprised about. I mean, the X Men literally because Buzz just popped off. Fox 9, he had some great moments as well. Bane, he was quiet. He was pretty quiet. He was just very quiet. So I mean, it's literally that. I'll be honest with DRX and Flashback, who I thought he was the IGL for the team for some stupid reason, but I mean, I won't be surprised if Mako is actually the true IGL for this team. But Flashback, he had some alright moments as well. He was pretty decent Clove. Definitely helped DRX to get that 13 against A division, so that's a good sign there. But yeah, either way, DRX securing the playoff spot after one match, pretty good there for the team. And with that, that is about it for this episode of This Week in VCT. So now, like, guys, well, to like, comment, and subscribe. It will really help me, especially on this channel. Don't worry as well, next week will be a bit more jam-packed with all the regions officially starting. So that's really about it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Catch you guys next time in the next one. Goodbye.